Nobody wants to talk about poo. It's embarrassing, but should we? I'm in the bathroom, which is a great place to talk about poo. And if your poo is a great way to check your health, should we be checking it on a regular basis? So if you don't want junk stuck in your body, if you want the rubbish to be coming out, do a quick check. So eat some corn, some beetroot, some licorice. They're classics for gastrointestinal transit time testing. So how long does it take from food to go from your mouth to come out your bum? You want the nutrition and energy to stay inside your body, but you want the rubbish to come out. If it doesn't come out, you feel bloated, you feel uncomfortable, you could feel lazy, tired, lethargic, and if your gut's not working effectively, that digestive part where the serotonin's produced, serotonin is a satisfaction neurotransmitter that most antidepressant drugs, that's why people take them for, so they can even out the serotonin levels. But if you haven't got healthy gut, if you're not pooing on a regular basis, you're not producing effective amounts of serotonin, then you're not going to be happy either. So here in the bathroom is a great place to check your health and your happiness. Isn't that awesome? And I love talking about poo because it's funny. Little boys love talking about it. Big boys love talking about it. I don't know why women don't want to talk about it, because if you've got an unhealthy gut, if you're not pooing on a regular basis, there's all sorts of challenges that go on inside your body. One of which is you don't feel good about yourself. And a lot of women share with me, and I always ask the question, how often do you poo and does it slide out easily? Not an embarrassing question. If you're pushing and straining, that's obviously dangerous. That's not good for the internals of your body. So if you want to evacuate rubbish out of your body really quickly, if you want to poo fast, eat food that is sweeping the rubbish out of your body. You want to eat food that gives you nutrition and gives you the energy that you need to live the life and go and do all the exciting things that you want to do, but you don't want your rubbish inside. So you don't want stinky air inside your body, so farting's good, better out than in. Yes, women fart too, and I can't understand where this thing came from that women shouldn't fart. Obviously, in public, and if it's stinky, that's not a good thing, but you want to get the bad air out of your body, you want to get the bad junk out of your body, so you want to fart regularly, you want to poo regularly, and you want to make sure that it slides out easily. If you eat too much stone fruit, for example, you'll get that diarrhea effect, so you've got floaties on the top of the toilet. If you've got a whole heap of junk in your body, you probably have stinky, so your poo will sink to the bottom. Ultimately, you want poo that looks like a submarine, so it sits in the middle of the toilet and looks a bit like a sausage. Now, if you're embarrassed about that, that's very sad, because all of that shares with you personally that your body's working really well. So you want to poo every 12 to 24 hours, and at our house we have a poo party, and I have a song for that, and I share that with the kids and the big kids, which is eat more real food, eat more real food, eat more real food, poo party. Because if you have a good poo and it's sitting in the middle of the toilet and it slides out easily, what a great sign that your body's healthy. So rather than being embarrassed about talking about poo, it might not be a conversation for a hosh-posh dinner table, but how about in your family, get excited about we're having a poo party because we're all healthy. We're eating food, all the junk's coming out quickly, we're keeping the nutrition inside our body, we feel good about ourselves, our brain's working well because our serotonin levels are being created inside our gut, and life is so much better. So when you're in the bathroom, please make sure, well, if you're not pooing on a regular basis, you've got to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So eat more real food, stuff that hasn't been screwed with by humans. Ideally, it comes from fiber, which is the carbohydrate that doesn't get digested by the body. It's just the broom that sweeps the rubbish out of your body. So that's the food that grows in the ground. There's some argument about, oh, you don't need to eat food that grows in the ground, you can just eat meat. And as long as you are pooing on a regular basis, who's to argue? But if you are straining, if you're not pooing every 12 to 24 hours, if it doesn't look good, it doesn't look like a sausage submarine in the toilet, then obviously you need to do something different. If you don't feel good, if you're not happy, if you're depressed, if you're sick, there's a whole heap of things that can be tested by your poo. So how about, if you want to live your life to the max, don't be embarrassed about the toilet, don't be embarrassed about farting, don't be embarrassed about pooing. Get your body healthy, fit and strong by eating more real food. And of course, if you are a healthy, fit, strong human being, all of that will work effectively. If you can't poo because, and there's that great word constipated, but very few healthy, fit, strong people ever get constipated, because when you jump around, obviously you shake the poo out. When you are healthy, fit and strong, you've got a great endocrine system and a strong digestive system. Everything works effectively, so everything comes out. The bad stuff comes out, the good stuff stays in. It's a very simple process. So the answer to everything really, and I bang on about this every day, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. And if you don't know what a record is, it means you're very young. But the repetition of eat more real food, drink more water till you've got clear wheeze, clear your body out, get fresh air and sunshine, get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong, do it safely so you don't get injured, do it short so you don't get bored, so that you can have a healthy, fit, strong body for the rest of your life, so you can live your life to the max. And maybe it starts in the bathroom where I am right now with healthy poos in the toilet. Yay! Live your life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? Pooing on a regular basis. Woohoo!